Hello my friends, and welcome to Iratus, Lord of the Dead with me, Notorious BLT. Iratus is it's a sorta kinda Darkest Dungeon-y sort of game, except you play the bad guys, and you cause the stress damage, and you kill all the people. So the story is you are playing Iratus, who is a necromancer who was killed a long time ago, like 1,000 years ago, and has woken up in his tomb, and is now summoning deadites to go and murder lots of dudes. I've already played this game a bunch. Well, I shouldn't say a bunch. But I'll tell you what, we're gonna go through the tutorial so that you all can see what, so the game can basically explain itself to you, and you don't have to rely on my not-so-great explanations. Or kind of meandering explanations. Alright, so, minion abilities. Each minion has 5 basic abilities, and 1 ultimate ability. To use an ultimate ability, you need a special resource, Wrath. Wrath is this thing right here, this outer circle here, and then the center one is mana. Minions and enemies can use certain abilities only from specific positions and with specific targets. So, what we have here is a skeleton and a banshee. These are like your 2 basic starting units. This game is similar in Darkest Dungeon in terms of the combat. The rest of it could be argued that it's really not. There's a lot more going on with the game, and at first I was like, I don't know how I feel about it, and now I'm like, this game is crazy good. It is in early access, by the way, so keep that in mind. So there's a lot of stuff here going on, like we've got different stats. We got attack, sanity, which for us is dread, which is the stress damage that we cause. Accuracy, which is kind of self-explanatory if you played Darkest Dungeon. Evasion, which is basically just your dodge, so like your percent chance to dodge. And if I'm right, evasion kind of counters dodge. Or not evasion counters dodge. Evasion counters accuracy. Like, it lowers your accuracy, if I remember right. Accuracy over 100% decreases the chance of hitting targets with evasion. Right. And then you got luck, which is your chance of hitting a critical attack. Armor, which is just a straight number of points of damage that you subtract off of hits. Resistance, which is straight number of damage that you subtract off of magical attack hits. Block, which is just the number of times that you block incoming damage entirely. Ward, which is the number of times you block incoming stress and magical damage entirely. And then initiative, which determines the initiative order. So we're going to start off with the skeleton, and we're going to smack this hunky around. Because he is less beefy than he is sane. So this is explaining different kinds of damage. You got physical and magical damage, reduce the target's vigor, which is their health. Igniting a target will deal magical damage multiple times over a course of a few turns. Stress damage decreases the sanity of the target. Cursing a target will deal stress damage multiple times over a course of a few turns. Critical hits by your minions decrease enemy sanity. Enemy critical hits will increase it. So one of the things to know, you dick, is that if you cause lots of sanity damage, these guys can get negatives. Which we're actually totally going to do. That moves you forward. Fuck it. You got very little sanity. Let's mess that up all kinds of bad. I should probably lower the sound effects because they're very, very loud. Loss of sanity in combat can lead to various consequences. Insanity, a negative effect which weakens the enemy. Inspiration, a positive effect which strengthens the enemy. Death, receiving any amount of stress damage while at 0 sanity can lead to instantaneous death. Flee from combat. At low levels of sanity, an enemy on the outermost position of the combat row has a chance to flee from combat. Yeah, that's very loud. I'm going to lower the sound effects, because that is very, very loud. There we go. Okay, continue. Now, I would like for you to make with the smiting of this man. And now he's dead.
This one voided its bowels just as it died.
And there is a voiceover. It's the same guy that played, I forget his name. I want to say it was Caleb, the main character that you play as from Blood. Okay, so this guy has an insanity. All remaining strength. At the start of each turn, loses 40% of maximum vigor. Receives an extra action. That is bad. But we wanna murder you as fast as possible. Set ignores armor, huh? Well, let's just do smite. Okay. So, whenever you finish a combat, you get a bunch of parts. And it also shows you exactly how much damage you took, XP for Iratus. So, the combat also differs from Darkest Dungeon in a couple of different ways. One, in Darkest Dungeon, as the person who is like the guy who's messing with the who's getting people to go out and do stuff for you. You aren't interfering in combat at all. In this, you can. After gathering parts from his defeated foes, Iratus can add new minions to his army. Using parts of uncommon, rare, or legendary quality will increase the stats of the created minion. With time, Iratus can acquire new ways of creating minions as well as various combat tactics, and that's shown here. So, like, originally you don't actually start off with the mummy or the lich. I've unlocked these from playing enough. I thought that maybe on a new file they wouldn't be unlocked, but I guess they are. And then each of these has different things that you have to do to acquire. So, like, for the headhunter, I have to defeat 2 bosses. I've already defeated 1, so I have 1 more to go. For the shade, I have to cause insanity 80 times. I have 14 times to go because my usual party does lots and lots of sanity damage. Vampire, I have no idea how the hell you get vampires. Maybe from the shade? I don't know how you turn people into vampires. Blood Phantasm, use 7,500 Wrath on ultimate abilities. I have a lot to go. Lost Soul, debuff enemies 250 times, only have 58 times to go. Bone Golem, gather 70 bones. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of bones that I have to gather. Fallen Dampier, lure 3 Dampiers over to your side. I have no idea how that happens. And then the Ghoul. Deal 3,500 damage to your own minions. I still have a lot to go. So I'm going to... Let's look at some of the other minions that we can create. We already know roughly what the skeleton does. He's a tanky boy. He's very tanky. So, like, you can do this thing, Astounding Fortitude, where you stick him up front and he just takes damage. The zombie, I don't really care for. He's kind of super inaccurate. Like, his accuracy is 88%. He's very shooty, but all of his abilities do, like, a very small percentage of damage. Like, this one magical attack... Well, okay, this one does 100% damage, but... and he doesn't do a ton of damage either. But he also has a bunch of resistance, so he's good against magic. So, like, this one does 40% damage to a chosen enemy and the 2 enemies behind it. Like, he does a lot of area effect damage, is my understanding. Sets target on fire for 2 turns, dealing a bunch of fire damage. That one's actually pretty good. The other thing is, like, you don't actually have to select abilities for the dudes you're sending into combat. They just get all of them. And then you got more powder, which increases the damage for the zombie by 100% for the next attack. And it does stack, so you can just keep putting more and more powder in. Bombardment stance at the start of the next turn. The zombie attacks 4 times. Each attack dealing 50% physical damage to a random enemy. The attack does not consume an action. Stances, I don't know if there's actually anything that's really similar to stances in Darkest Dungeon. It's kind of like when you do lunging attack with the Highwayman, how he gets that stance that kind of like basically says, I will mess up your shit.
Am I in the mood for terror or lethality today?
Indeed. So I'm going to make a Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is awesome, in my opinion. Manifestation of living void contained in a vessel of knightly armor. These necromantic soldiers are often seen leading the armies of undead against the civilizations of mortals, where they learn the skill to do battle and wage wars unknown, but all of them despise existence and seek to reduce everything to nothing. They are armored, and they have good resistance. They do okay damage. My main thing about them is that they're a tank that does a good amount of sanity damage. So we need all these different parts to craft him, so we're gonna make him right there.
Needs its generals.
Indeed. I would also like to make a Wraith. I'm not going to mess with these 2 right now because I don't want to bring in things that other people can't really start off with. I think I already mentioned that this is early access. There are issues, so just beware. And I haven't run into anything frequently, but I have run into a bug where the game crashed and my entire higher level party vanished. But it's not a big deal because there's a way to quickly level your dudes, at the snap of your fingers. Despite the seeming simplicity of this minion, its summoning has been prohibited by the Necromancer's Guild since the dawn of history. Not even Iratus remembers the reason for this decree, but there are many dark rumors surrounding this particular summoning. It is said that the very first Necromancer created this minion as a vessel for his rebirth, or that the soul that answers the Necromancer's call comes not from the afterlife, but from another much more alien place. Nobody seemed to have had the courage to put these theories to the test, or maybe those that did never survived the process. Still, the guild has been nothing but ruins for millennia. It is now up to Iratus to decide what to do with this knowledge. And he is a big-time stress damage dealer and magic damage. And you can see, he's all about the stress damage. He also has good attack damage, though. So, does lots of good debuffing. and is just a royal pain in the ass. And actually, the Banshee is also very good too. Let's see. Banshee is mostly like a 3 slaughter. She can't use her ultimate ability, and that's fine. From the rearmost rank, or actually the rear, like 2 most ranks.
Let's hope there
Right.
is no fine.
And then the last one that I want, can I make her? I can. Is the Bride of Iratus. A design fashioned by the arch necromancer himself, the bride uses only the best part to raise a dead archer with an unhealthy love for her creator. Said love is then channeled into a burning desire to shoot out the eyes of anything that might try to get close to the one she worships. And so she's a physical damage dealer, but she can also do stress damage, which is the thing that I like her for. And she's also got some really sick abilities, and she's just a really good support. Well, maybe not support, but she's a good character to have, I think. So we're going to craft a Bride of Iratus. This is, I don't want to say this is my preferred party, but this is the one that I used a lot of. And actually, there's one thing I wanted to show on the Wraith. He actually starts off with 2 block and 2 ward, so he's kind of hard to get rid of right off the bat. But yeah, Dark Knight, excellent tank. And there's a good reason for that. I don't think I went over it, but Abyssal Hunger. You get to sap health from everybody, and he heals himself. His physical attacks are kind of butt. I mean, it does okay damage. Basically, it's doing like +6 damage with this, because you gain additional damage based on his armor. This is the thing that I like to use. It deals stress damage, and it deals additional stress damage for each debuff. And the reason I like that is because of these two. These two like to make with the debuffs. The kingdom had need of the vast riches buried underneath the castle, great veins of iron that promised to fuel conquest after conquest. Along with ancient artifacts from a long-forgotten age, the dwarves were eager to offer their services in this project, bringing their untested mining equipment and experimental concoctions for the promise of wealth. They only needed bodies that could obey, and that the humans could provide. With dungeons filled to the brim with both criminals and rebels, there was no shortage of slaves to work these mines. Drugs were used to keep them docile as they dug ever deeper year after year, unaware of the mortal danger that awaited them below. So the intro cinematic basically shows a bunch of dudes breaking into Iratus's chamber, his like basically where he's sleeping or dead, and he wakes up and is like, "Motherfucker, what?" And then you kill them. Unit features. Some enemies possess unique features that strengthen or weaken them. Study the features of your minions and your enemies so that you can fight more effectively. That's one thing I kind of forgot. Some of your dudes start with something cool, and I forget where the hell that actually shows up. Like, oh, here we go. +10 luck against female enemies. The chance of enemies to escape increases by 2% each turn until it reaches 10%. This effect can't stack. And basically what that means, I think it's like you have multiple banshees, you can't, like, you know, yeah. I think you know what I'm trying to get at. I want to say we want to do Overwatch because you have an ability that moves people around, don't you? Somebody has an ability that moves people. Oh no, it's your ultimate ability that moves people, isn't it? Yeah, it randomly swaps everybody. So Overwatch on the Bride of Iratus is really good. Whenever an enemy moves, deal 50% physical damage to it. And then we've got this guy showing up, this Taskmaster. I don't think we actually know anything about his abilities, just that he has some block and stuff. When Taskmaster dies, his allies recover 30 sanity. So we probably want to murder him first. You have equal sanity and other stuff. Let's pop you with that to get rid of... Yeah, okay. So ward expended to completely nullify the next magic or stress attack, and critical ignores both block and ward. And I think it also... I don't think it ignores armor. No. But I've already explained those stats, so... Oh, that's why I love the Black Knight, or Dark Knight. I'm probably going to call him the Black Knight a lot. Let's do this. All enemies lose 4 attack for the next action. And it's going to cause some stress damage. And it's a debuff. So that means this is even worse. So he basically just shows them what's up under the helmet and causes a little bit of stress damage. So now this, the Ghostly Fire is the thing that I love the Wraith for. So, let's see. It hits the chosen target and the enemy behind him. So we hit these two, and it's going to curse them both, which means it's another debuff. Oh, you got an Insanity. Armor absorbed. Excellent. That's the other thing. This dude does sanity damage to his own dudes. But now I'm just going to keep popping you with this, because it does a lot of sanity damage, as you can see. See, you see why I left the Black Knight? He's so good. That does move you to random position, doesn't it? Alright, well, everybody get debuffed again. Oh, you got an insanity, did you? It's 40% of maximum health. Alright. So, he should be taking a bunch of sanity damage from this. 14, that's pretty good. Now, at the start of your turn, you should take some stress damage, which may kill you. Oh, all the insanity, please. Hopeless. That's excellent. Wow, you're just stressing the Christ out of everybody, huh? Can you die, please? This is the one problem I have with the stress damage thing, is that it can be hard to kill dudes.
Savor these last few heartbeats.
It usually doesn't take much. Come on, die. Motherfucker. Really? There he goes.
One by one, life vanishes from this world.
What's this? Minus 30 accuracy. That's very annoying.
Become
there he goes.
part of the breathless tide.
This miner's gonna go and he's probably not gonna be able to hurt me. Oh, he's getting ready to run. Oh, you tried to attack the Wraith, did you? Will escape at the beginning of the next turn. Receive damage increased by 50%. And there he goes.
Mop up the gore.
After winning a battle, Iratus receives rewards. Architect's souls needed to construct and improve buildings. Parts, artifacts, brains! Additional minions that did not participate in the battle restore a small amount of vigor. So brains used to quickly increase the level of minions. And artifacts are things that you can equip on Iratus and his minions. Like this, the Scroll of Skullfall. Which we will immediately put on Iratus. There are 4 main types of artifacts: weapons, armor, rings, and amulets. You will also encounter consumables. Such artifacts only apply for one battle, after which they are spent. At the beginning of the game, Iratus receives 1 random artifact. Alright. Although we're in the tutorial, so no random artifacts. So it is trying to teach us very slowly, which is why we can't access the talents and other things, like this stuff, which is alchemy, and I forget what this is. I think this is spells. And then eventually this gate will open, and we can create buildings. An event. Requiring the participation of Iratus himself or the current battle group. Place of power that can restore mana to Iratus or vigor to minions. I think we're going to go... Wait, what's this? Sacrificing minions, Iratus receives items or artifacts. We can also run to that over here. See, there's a lot of shit in here. You know? Let's go this way. Let's go to this event. Choose a battle squad. Number 1. Go there. Let's see. Your hordes grow, shambling forward to the dark hymn of the necromancy. Yet that melody is not the only thing they hear with their unsightly ears. A few minions report the sound of wails coming from the other side of the rock wall. Upon further inspection, it is not a rock wall at all, but a cave-in, and it seems that a bunch of miners are trapped on the other side. You could always use some more fresh bodies, but is it really worth your time to save these poor souls? Fuck it, dude. Dig them out and make them dead.
More for me.
The dead bodies groan as they laboriously move the stones, clearing the passage slowly. Eventually, they form a hole large enough for the grateful humans to start pouring through, right into the cold, waiting arms of your minions, and then we gain all of this. Very nice. Very nice. Let's go here. So we've got a new kind of enemy here. Ah, we got the magic now. Right, because we got the scroll. Iratus possesses the following resources. Mana. Needed to use talents from the magic, ire, and destruction trees. Mana is restored after victory in combat, through minion abilities or via certain encounters on the map. Let's see. Wrath. Needed to use minions' ultimate abilities. Wrath increases during combat. So we're going to start with this, Skullfall. Iratus deals 10 magic damage to all enemies. Sets targets on fire for 3 turns, dealing 10 damage per turn.
Say hello to my burning friend.
Alright, so we got this guy. You are less healthy than you are sane, but you also have armor. Let's try to pop ya. Actually, no, let's go into Overwatch. And I'll tell you why. Okay, stances. A type of ability that some minions and enemies can use in battle. Stances differ in duration. 1-turn stance, a stance that ends at the start of the character's next turn. Stance until the end of combat. A character will maintain the stance until it is cancelled or the battle ends. Any stance can be cancelled via forced movement or stunning, unless the description of the stance specifies otherwise. So we have 3 people that can take stances, and you are one of them. Whenever an enemy moves, the Banshee deals 60% stress damage to the target. We're going to do that. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is also enter a stance with you, with the Black Knight. Or Dark Knight, god damn it. See, this is why I wanted to enter stances, because I had a feeling that this kind of shit was going to happen. And he's already gone insane. Betrayal. Oh, Betrayal is so good. Okay, Futile Hope. Stance. Each time an enemy receives a buff, the Dark Knight deals 60% stress damage to it. I thought there was... Oh, I think it's an upgraded version of this ability that does buff or debuff. But we're still going to enter it, because these guys do like to do buffs. Like, since this guy is going to buff somebody at some point, we might as well. Like, that's just his shtick. You know? We're going to leave you alive. I think. Yeah, we're going to ignite you. You're going to do your thing again. Yes! Betrayal is so delicious. Gives you a 75% chance to attack an ally instead of somebody else. This is why this ability is so good. His stance is so nice. Oh, well, shit. Never mind. I'm stupid. I believe there's an upgrade to that ability where it's like on a buff or debuff. Let's see. Right, each time the enemy receives a debuff, you do the damage. So when your minions level, you can choose something on this tree to increase. So like if I chose this, so it's not tomorrow instead of no tomorrow instead of Futile Hope, it'll give him +1 resistance and then also change the ability slightly. And then this one just makes it. Usually the left side makes things more potent, and the right side tends to change how things operate. So. I mean, this guy is hurting for certain, so we might as well just stress him out really bad. Yeah, move back. That's the other thing, is that you can force people to move, and so you can do things like that, like what I just did. Let's just hit everybody with some stress, which may, in fact, kill a couple of them. Like him. And then he burned to death, and now it's just this guy left. So give him some magic damage, please. And now he's dead. Oh my god. It just no damage at all, huh? Oh, it's wonderful. Okay, so now we have talents. Winning battles rewards Iratus with experience that increases his level. At each level, he receives talent points that can be used on the following ability trees. Alchemy increases the efficiency of your minions and resource economy. Magic, spells weaken foes, require mana to use. Ire, spells strengthen minions, require mana to use. And Destruction, deals direct damage to enemies, requires mana to use. Okay, we have 2 talent points. I'm going to probably put something into Alchemy and Destruction. I'm kind of partial to this. It is just kind of ridiculous. Iratus sets a trap at the chosen enemy position. It explodes in 2 rounds, dealing 50 magic damage to any foe in that position. And then Iratus deals a 10 to 14 physical damage to each enemy at 1 and 2 position. Let's do Spine Bomb. And then for Alchemy, let's see, increases the chance of receiving parts at the end of battle. Increases the chance of receiving Architect's Souls at the end of battle, which is what we need to make buildings. Allows the conversion of parts into mana. Allows you to replace parts in a minion with higher quality parts of the same type. So when you get better parts, they do things like +2 vigor or like +2 speed or things like that. Let's do Amateur Surgeon.
Reveal their secrets.
Okay, back into combat we go. You. I mean, it sucks, but I'm going to sacrifice the skeleton. There's a lot of minion sacrificing that goes on. Oh, +2 armor starting in turn position 2. +1 attack for 2 turns. Stacks up 3 times. +3 attack. This isn't a choose one, right? I just get all of them. Guarantees that an artifact will appear as part of victory rewards. Oh, that's so good. Look, dude, good lord. Missing with attack, Iratus gains 4% chance to acquire extra parts after victory. Stacks up to 3 times. +3 vigor for 3 turns. I mean, that's... I think I want to put this on you instead. This is... I don't care if it's position 2 thing. The +2 armor is definitely all for you. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, do I actually have to pick? No, I get all of them. Good. So let's first off go to artifacts. Give you that.
Now I will make mortals tremble before me.
Let's go to our items.
Even more than previously.
You need that. What is your accuracy? You should probably get the accuracy. And honestly, I think that you... The +3 attack is not going to be useful at all in the Banshee, because, like, she doesn't really do physical damage at all. You getting luck isn't bad. Oh yeah, so if you have negative luck, it means that enemies will have an easier time critting you, which is bad. Very bad. I still think you want to get the attack, even though, well, no. Fuck. Fuck it, we're going to give you more attack. I don't care about the thing about... Well, because it... Screw it, dude. I'll give you this. You can gain some more vigor. That's cool with me. Alright. This is... Ooh, dormant minions. Let's go this way. Let's get us some dormant minions, please. Okay, so no new enemies just yet. You are an asshole. I still don't know exactly how these traps work. I think what they do is they actually pin you in place, which is very annoying. You know, give me an Overwatch. Yes, the game does have weird boob physics, if you didn't notice. It is very strange. That armor is so delicious. Forget, do you have anything that moves you forward? You do, but I have to be one more tile back. You guys all have block. I hate it. But you do not have resistance. So, Be spooked, dude. Be spooked. Oh, see, this is another good thing. Is this going to help us get rid of some of that that block? Okay. Oh, he's going to take even more stretch damage because he's getting moved. Oh, delicious. What you get? What you get? What you get? Unlucky. Minus 15 accuracy, minus 15 evasion, minus 15 luck. Holy shit. You know what? Hit everybody with some stress.
Maybe I'll craft this into furniture.
Yes! Betrayal. Crit debuff. Minus 30% accuracy. I hate that. I could use your ultimate ability. I also haven't used the spine bomb, but that's okay. You know what? I should actually probably start spooping you. Stop that. Yeah, let's spoop you. That way you can start gaining some brain damage. Stop that. That is very annoying. Yeah, we're going to do that. And then we're going to use one of his physical attacks to move forward. Oh! Wonderful. Okay. What I'm going to do is just curse. For now. The reason I'm just going to curse for now... Yes! Hopeless. Okay, you're going to go into Overwatch. And then when the Wraith's turn comes up, he's going to do his ultimate ability. I forget, do you have something that moves you back? Yes. Restores the target to full sanity. Gives Iratus mana equal to 20% of the restored sanity. Okay, you know what? I'm going to do this. We're going to put it here.
Have a little tingle up your spine.
We're going to restore your sanity. And move her back. God damn it. I knew I should have put it more far forward. You know what? Give us a suck. Yeah. Get your health back. I screwed up. Okay, that's fine. There's a likelihood that you will die. Berserk. Damage dealt increased by a lot. I hate it. Oh, okay, but damage received is also increased. Good shot. Oh, he's so dead. Scream at him. You dead? God damn it. Dude, give him the spoops. Why are you not dead? I hate that you're not dead.
This is my kind of entertainment.
Alright, but like, die?
Extinction of life.
Critical curse. Oh, God. He's taking a lot of stress damage over time. I mean, well, rather, he's taking it for a long period of time. Would you please die already? There we go.
A sad display from mortal kind.
Sweet. Alright, folks, well, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you all did enjoy it. If you did, you know what to do. That's me from Notorious BLT up. You have a fantastic day, and I will catch you all next time. Bye-bye, folks.